Hey guys, welcome to the first video of my canning stock route adventure. I'm a week away and itching to get out there. So I leave next Friday. The idea is that I'll head west, cover the 3,000 odd k's, crossing the Nullarbor to Wiluna, and then head north and hit the canning from there. It's a solo adventure. I've been looking forward to riding this for a few years prior to it being closed, so super keen to get out there. And my goal for this video is to try and capture it from an adventure bike riding point of view, just to see how difficult it is, hopefully pass on some valuable information to you guys as well. I'll be going solo, and the idea is if I get through the canyon unscathed, I'll go do the Gibb River Road, Savannah Highway, and then I want to get back to Cape York and finish what I started last year, so hopefully do the tip in Cape York. So anyway, what I might do is I might get out the map, show you guys the rough plan and route, and then we'll head outside to the bike and show you it all packed. Alright, so excuse the lighting. The idea is once I get a shed, I'll have this up in the shed and it'll be a bit easier to use. But at the moment, it's my lounge room floor. So I'm starting here in Melbourne. The first night, I'm going to stay somewhere between Adelaide and Wallaroo, where the next morning I've booked the ferry. So instead of riding up through Port Augusta and back down, and take the ferry across to Lucky Bay, and then hopefully make it somewhere near Streaky Bay, Ceduna for night 2. And then it'll just be a matter of seeing how far I get. So across the Nullarbor, up through Kalgoorlie. There is motorbike stores in Kalgoorlie, so if I need to pick up anything on the way or have any issues, that's probably going to be my last stop, and place where I can get supplies for the bike. From there, it'll be up to Wiluna. Again, last fuel stop, and that's the start of the canning. So I'll make my way up. These are rough guides with the nights and so forth. But this first stretch from Wiluna up to Kanawarichi, I don't know how to say that name, but it's the small Aboriginal community town. It's 1,000 k's in, or 950 odd k's from Wiluna. So that's your midway point. So that's going to be my longest stretch of needing fuel. So it's going to be quite heavy. I have worked out that if I do run a bit short, I can run into the small town south, a couple hundred k's south, into Pine Gur, and that they also have fuel available if need be, but it is quite a detour out. Then I'll continue on from Kanawarichi, again, don't know how to say it, to Ballyluna is actually a shorter stretch. So that's, I think, about 650 k's between fuel stops, and then onto the Wolf Creek crater and into Halls Creek. Once I've filled up there, if everything's going to plan, so I can obviously shoot down back to Alice, but if everything goes to plan, which I'm hoping it is, I'm planning to make my way through Fitzroy Crossing and then take this shortcut onto the Gibb River Road, and then I'll make my way up, enjoy all those gorges along there, and then I'm going to move across through Catherine and then come down through Limmen National Park, see the it's called the Western Lost City, and follow the Gulf here. Now this sort of joins on to what I'd initially planned to do on my Cape York trip in the opposite direction. So I'll follow this one up, hopefully get up here to the old telegraph track, and then up to Cape York, and then be fairly boring all the way back down the coast. I think by then I'll have had enough off-road riding, so I'll work my way down, and then eventually landing back in Melbourne. So I've been fortunate. I'd initially planned my 4 weeks of annual leave to do this, but the way my roster's fallen, I've probably got near 6 weeks off if need be. So plenty of time to do it. And hopefully it all goes to plan so I can get it done. Anyway, we'll head out to the bike and I'll show you how I've set everything up. Okay, so here we are. This is the setup. It looks quite bulky, which it is. But the beauty is, most of it is due to having the fuel can. So I've opted to go with predominantly jerry cans, just because I found that the weight's going to be there either way. Obviously jerry cans take up some space, but once they're full, at least the package doesn't expand, and I don't have to worry about tying them down, things coming loose. I've heard that the scrub is quite bad in the canning, so I don't want to risk really puncturing a fuel bladder and being stranded due to that. So I'm going to carry about 66 litres of fuel, 23 in the front. And I've got 2 10-litre jerry cans in the side bags, 13 on the back. I've got a 6-litre bladder that I'll chuck over the seat, and then I'm planning on putting either 2 2-litres if I can find them water bottles, or 3 1.5-litre water bottles full of fuel in the sides of the bag. So that'll be how I carry the fuel. I'll probably only carry 3 litres of water in my backpack, probably 1.2 litres to 600ml bottles in my backpack as well, and then a 1.5 litre. So does that take me to almost 7 litres of water? But the good thing about the canning is having those wells along the way. So I'll just take some water purifying pills. I've got a water purifier straw, and then I'll just try and use most of the water out of the wells for cooking and cleaning at night. So in these bags, predominantly just the 10-litre fuel cans. I've got 1 bladder in there. I've got my tools and tubes in the back, and that's it. So they're pretty empty at the moment. They look bulky, but they're very light. In here's got my clothes and camping gear. I'm not sure how much that weighs, probably 6 or 7 kilos. Not ideal, it's high up, but I don't think there's much of a solution really, given where I'm going and how much I have to carry. Front bag as usual is just all electronics, so camera gear. My backpack will be the same with the drone and everything. So that's about it. Other than these little bags I've got lately, they'll have a few supplies, so predominantly spares, tools, and some under the seat as well, so they're all pretty much attached to the bike, which is good. Yeah, but that's about it. I wish I'd got the suspension done prior to the trip, but yeah, it's kind of a last minute decision to do it once I saw the canning had opened. And yeah, it would just mean I'll just have to be cautious in that first few hundred Ks from Wiluna up. Apparently that's where the rocky, twisty area is. Obviously don't want to push the suspension too hard, especially if the bike's probably going to be weighing over 300 kilos at that point. So that's pretty much it in terms of the setup. Hopefully everything works out. We'll obviously figure it out along the way. If things need to change, they have to change. It's part of the game. Fingers crossed everything goes to plan. I'll probably see you in a week's time when we hit the road.